up, Taiwan? I'm Liao with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Amid growing regional tensions, Taiwan's military is defending how it chooses its weapons, saying strategy drives its decisions. This follows reports that a recent arms purchase request was turned down by the United States. Jaime Okan explains what's behind the denial and what it means for Taiwan's defense.
Taiwan's military is looking to spend big on its defense. Specifically on two major U.S.-made systems, MH-60 Seahawk anti-submarine helicopters and E-2D early warning aircraft. Both of these systems are some of the most advanced of their kind. But according to local news outlet Up Media, Taiwan's defense ministry was denied these aircraft multiple times, leaving the military here searching for alternatives.
任何有助提升战力的武器装备，我们都会透过各项的会议，与美来做这个意见的交换。
Reports say that the United States, which is Taiwan's largest provider of weapons, declined the sale because the requested aircraft were not in line with an asymmetric strategy. This means using cheaper systems that are highly mobile, lethal, and easier to maintain. The Navy had previously tried to buy the Seahawk helicopters in 2015 and 2022, but failed due to similar issues and high costs. Taiwan says the helicopters would boost maritime surveillance.
反潜直升机当然具备的机动，它可以大范围的搜索。那这个能力跟需求海军是有的。那有关新的直升机的筹获，或是现役机种的后续的可能的性能提升，整个这个整体的规划，那目前我们都在整体的评估作业之中。
Taiwan already has older, similar versions of both the plane and the helicopter. But many observers say that given the size of the threat from China's military, Taiwan should not try to compete in the quantity of systems. That's because of a concern that many expensive systems like tanks, fighter jets, and warships might not survive in a conflict. Instead, experts say Taiwan should try to balance its military arsenal.
I think mostly asymmetry is the way to go. I've heard from policy wonks across Taiwan is having some, not all, of the big platforms makes it easier when dealing with the day-to-day gray zone coercion. I don't necessarily think telling the Taiwanese not to have every sort of high-level platform is wise. I think it should be done in parallel with the cheaper autonomous weapons that are very low cost.
Taiwan's defense minister says the country is embracing an asymmetric strategy, but seeing what's actually on the military's wish list makes it difficult to believe. Devin Tai and Jaime Okan for TaiwanPlus.
A new report by a Swedish think tank says global defense spending saw its steepest rise in 2024, the most since the end of the Cold War. Adil Brar reports.
Wars, rising tensions, and the world on edge. 2024 saw the steepest jump in defense spending in over 3 decades. Global defense spending rose by a staggering 9.4%, according to the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. More than 100 countries boosted their military budget. The institute's researcher Xiao Liang says this rise in defense spending is unprecedented.
It was the highest year-on-year increase since the end of the Cold War. And we also saw spending increased in all regions in the world. So it was really a global across the board trend.
In Europe, the war in Ukraine was a clear impetus. European leaders have called for dramatically increasing defense spending. Fears over the future U.S. commitment to NATO under Donald Trump also played a role.
If Europe is to survive, it must be armed. It is not our choice. I am not a militarist.
Even before President Trump's return to power, his skepticism towards alliances had already pushed European nations to ramp up arms production and strategic independence. In 2024, military spending in Europe, including Russia, went up by 17% to $693 billion. This was the greatest contributor to global increase.
So European countries were already trying to boost their strategic autonomy and self-reliance in arms production before Trump's election.
In the Middle East, Israel's invasion of Gaza and Lebanon fueled another sharp rise in defense budgets. Yet, for much of that region, a larger arms race has been delayed for now. Future spending may hinge on fragile peace deals holding up. In Asia, China remained the world's second largest military spender after the US. In 2024, China's military budget was $314 billion adjusted for inflation. That's nearly 8 times what it was in 2004. Now, several countries in the Indo-Pacific, including Japan, India, and the Philippines, are responding to China's military buildup by increasing their defense expenditure. Record military spending might buy security, but it comes as a cost. Around the world, countries are diverting money from schools, hospitals, social welfare, and climate action to fuel a new arms race. The more nations spend to arm themselves, the more fragile peace becomes. And a new era characterized by suspicion and mistrust between rival powers beacons. Eason Chen and Adil Brar for TaiwanPlus.
A new COVID-19 wave is hitting Taiwan, with at least 7 deaths reported in the last week. Hospitals reported 21 serious cases, as well as 3,000 hospital visits due to the virus, making it the 3rd straight week of rising cases. Health officials are warning the latest wave could peak in May or June. They're urging people to be cautious during social gatherings and to get appropriate vaccinations. A university in France is bringing Taiwan to its students thanks to an elective course that is unique in the country. John Van Trieste takes a look inside.
Here in this Paris classroom, a lecture unlike anything you'll find elsewhere in France is underway. Under the guidance of Pingdong County native Liao, these students are picking up a piece of Taiwan in the form of one of the country's major languages. Just what to call this language can be a bit contentious. On the official wall of languages offered, this university, in Alco, just uses the word Taiwanese, though others might prefer a range of names, from Taiwanese Taigi to Taiwanese Hokkien to Hoklo or Minnan. But whatever name is used to refer to the language, it is the ancestral tongue of much of Taiwan's population. And in the 5 years since this course opened, over 400 students have taken it as an elective course as part of a degree in Mandarin Chinese. For some, the reasons are very personal.
大家好，我是Claire，我伫巴黎，我是东方语言甲文化学院的学生。我的妈妈是台湾人，我的爸爸是法国人。
Claire didn't grow up with this language, but hopes studying it will help her better connect with her Taiwanese mother. Though Taiwanese Taigi belongs to the same language family as Mandarin, even students with the requisite 3 years will find plenty of fresh challenges. For one thing, there are around twice as many tones to master as in Mandarin. And unlike in Mandarin, what you see isn't what you get. Within words and phrases, tones swap positions according to an intricate set of rules that come naturally to native speakers, but which learners must master. Those who take the plunge are rewarded, though. With the real deal, including, say, some of the pop songs that are a real part of everyday life in Taiwan. But giving students here this special peek hasn't been simple due to sensitivities over anything called Taiwanese, given China's claims to Taiwan.
On assume et on est très fiers de respecter justement la complexité de la situation chinoise et de donner le place au taïwanais, qui est donc reconnu sur notre mur comme une langue légitime à être enseignée à l'INALCO. Et les difficultés, on essaye de les affronter.
Instructor Liao is proud to give his students a special look into his homeland.
在法国来说法国人对台湾的观感或者是印象或者是了解，这是有越来越加深的一个改变。台语对我们来说是一个非常重要的一个语言，这个语言就是可以让外国人更了解台湾的不同在哪里。
In the halls of this esteemed French Center of Language Learning, a tongue with close ties to Taiwan takes its place. Howard Zhang and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
And thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Finally, today we take you to the West African country of Benin, where conservationists are working to protect endangered sea turtles. I'm Liao. Take care, and I'll see you next time.